Hello and welcome back to Everything Tumbler Tutorials. My name is Rebecca Escott and today we're going to do a very fun floral striped tumbler. I'm going to be using two different printable vinyls from AB Designs and two beautiful glitters from AB Designs, as well as two of the solid colors from Glitzy Girl Glitter. As you can see, I've already got the stripes that I want to use for the tumbler already cut and ready to go. You could start at either end. I just prefer to start right here at the rim if, in fact, those are the tumblers that I don't want glitter at the rim. You really want to take your time when placing the very first vinyl strip, regardless of what end that you start out with, simply because this vinyl strip will set the stage for the other stripes to follow. So in the upcoming clip, I do speed up for you guys, but I also wanted to point out that I use painter's tape as a buffer between my printable vinyls. And that's just so that I can keep the spacing correct all the way down the tumbler. So once you have applied all of your printable vinyl on the tumbler, we're now going to take the 1-inch painter's tape and tape off the vinyl. You will notice here very soon that the painter's tape is slightly smaller in width than the printable vinyl. And I'm not concerned about that at all. I just want to protect most of the vinyl so that I can take it outside and spray it. So now we're going to alternate the spray paint, which I'm using a candy pink and a French lilac from Rust-Oleum. I want to do every other section pink and then purple. Because I prefer the spray paint wet method, this is how I do it, and I decided to not make a mistake, and I took it row by row, or I should say stripe by stripe when glittering, just so that glitter didn't get in a section where it didn't need to be. So once you have completed all of your glitter stripes, you can go ahead and seal this with the 2x clear from Rust-Oleum prior to removing your painter's tape. Or you can do what I did and go ahead and immediately remove that tape, allow your tumbler to dry, give it about 30 to 40 minutes, and then you can then seal the entire tumbler. Once again, you're going to want that to dry for another 30 to 40 minutes, and then you can go in for your first coat of epoxy. So while our tumbler sets off and completely dries, we're now going to go ahead and move into the beads. I found these beads at Michael's, which as you can see are of various different sizes. I chose these in hopes that they would work for both the stainless steel straws as well as the clear plastic straws. You have to weed them out though and figure out what works best for which straw. Again, because I love the glitter spray paint method, I'm going to spray these with both the pink and the purple, and I'm going to go ahead and glitter. As with tumblers, I allow these to completely dry before I seal them. I allow that to dry before I go in and epoxy it, but I use a UV resin and a UV light to help this along. Stay tuned for that, as I do show that in upcoming clips. Our tumbler is now ready for its first coat of epoxy. I am currently out of my quick set from Glitter Craze, so today I will be using Fast Set from Counterculture DIY. So while our first coat of epoxy cures, we're going to go ahead and move right into the beads. So this is the UV light and the UV resin that I purchased from Amazon. I will have all of the links in the description for you guys down below. So this is very thin epoxy, so simply I just pour it onto the bead and use a paintbrush to move it along. So once I'm happy with the application of both beads, I then place both beads underneath the lamp for 90 seconds times 2. After that, I take it outside and I let the sun finish curing them. So now that our tumbler has finished its curing stage, we're going to take a 220 block and we're just going to give it a nice sand down. Once I've sanded it and I'm happy with it, then we're going to wash it with soap and water, and then we're ready to vinyl. So the two color vinyls that I'm using today are from Glitzy Girl Glitter, and the size measurements is 10.861 in width by 0.153 in height. I will also have these sizes down in the description for you below. So once you've placed all of your final stripes on your tumbler, you are then ready for a coat of epoxy. This tumbler only took 2 final coats of epoxy and it was complete. Once I applied all of this epoxy, I put this off to the side, let it finish curing, and then I moved on to the straw embellishments. So these were not hard to remove, but you do have to give it a nice tug to get it off. I know that this is blurry, but I was kind of hoping that you'd be able to see that there's a little bit of a lip, and this happened to both of them. Not a big deal. It was a smidge of epoxy buildup and a little bit of glitter, and we were just able to use the X-Acto knife and clean them right up. So using the X-Acto knife, I was able to clean up both edges, and then I slid them straight onto the straw. I do not epoxy this to my straw so that they are removable. So by not having these permanently attached to the straw with epoxy, you can move them up or down and adjust them on the straw, as a lot of people do not want epoxy too close to their mouth. The extra benefit with them being removable is that you can take this off to wash your straw and never interfere with the beads in the future. It will also allow them to be interchangeable with other matching tumblers. Once your tumbler is completely cured, we are now ready to go ahead and assemble all of our bits. So now, as you know, the clear plastic straws has that little lip at the bottom. So it's advisable to go ahead and slip the straw into the lid, and then we can add in the beads. This is the perfect opportunity for you to also put the lid onto the tumbler so that you can adjust your beads accordingly. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that this tutorial has inspired you to include your straws in future tumbler making. And if you did enjoy this video, please make sure you hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tutorials coming soon. Also, find us on Facebook at Everything Tumbler Tutorials.